Alrighty then. Welcome to my 30th of September stream. Just give me a second. Alright, that was weird. I don't know why it wasn't showing up on OBS for me, but meh, it's not my stream unless something goes wrong. Welcome to the 30th of September stream. It's going to be the last stream for this month. Pretty exciting. Technically I've been streaming for a whole month now, but at the same time, not really much has been happening. Can't really improve my stream too much until I get a better computer. Which is in the works. It's happening. It's gonna happen. I believe. One of the things that I was doing was testing some stuff with Star Citizen, and I found that it is my computer lagging, especially while I'm streaming, mainly because of the way that OBS works. It's pretty much re-rendering the game a second time, so it's taken up a lot of CPU power on my computer. I'm just impressed that my computer, doesn't have that much trouble doing it. It does lag a lot when I go into multiplayer combat, but the single player stuff, it doesn't have that much of an issue with it. Alrighty, so the 300i is set up. I should do it, put the gimbal mounts on my Aurora and see how that goes. Might actually do better. I probably won't though. Actually, I don't even know if you could put them on there. I'll try it next match. But what I'm going to do is going to go into Drone Sim and into Vandal Swarm. So I actually haven't played Vandal Swarm for quite a while now. I can already hear the fans of my computer going nuts. It's starting to get a bit hotter in Australia at the moment. Already the start of next month will be the pretty much midway through spring. So it's gonna get hotter. It's pretty warm at the moment. Comfortable warm. I don't mind spring. But it's gonna get hotter. So one of the things that I'll definitely be doing after I upgrade my computer is making the room that I play in a bit cooler. Probably just get a fan or two. I'm guessing that probably in another 3 weeks or so we'll have to start running air conditioners where I live. New 10 for the chairman today. I watched it. Most of it was stuff that I already knew about. It's becoming a bit repetitive 10 for the chairman. They seem to be asking a lot of the same questions, just worded differently. It's like we're getting new subscribers asking the same questions consistently every week. It's just that they're all worded differently. It was interesting to hear about Chris Roberts talking about organisation housing. Alright, here we go.
Origin jumpworks at your service. Core system operational.
Initiated. Warning. There are multiple lost cells.
G-Safe and comm stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
Scan initiated.
One of the things that I was glad to hear was that Chris Roberts is also talking about, well, he spoke briefly about the targeting system being improved. He mentioned that he himself couldn't hit anything with a gamepad. So when the boss of the company starts saying that, it's going to get improved because he can't play the game as well. I'm pretty sure it's going to change. But he said that won't happen until update 13.2. So technically that'd be patch 9. Correction 0.9.2. One thing that I did the last about a day or so ago, I watched a video about aerial dog combat, basics of aerial dog combat. Actually came with a game called Falcon 3, and like it's a really old video, like from the mid to late 90s. It could even be earlier than that. But it was interesting to watch it and see like the principles that they use for it. I was looking at it to see if I could adapt anything from it for space combat.
You are approaching the simulation boundary.
Initiated.
Alrighty.
Hostile eliminated.
Like playing Arena Commander in multiplayer mode in a 300, I just reinforce the point that I'm not really that keen to get back into multiplayer until I fix the targeting. Which is kind of annoying because I hate Vandal Swarm mode, and there's only so many laps that I can do in the racing before it gets a bit tedious.
Hostile eliminated.
Yeah, in multiplayer mode.
Remaining.
Like, trying to kill an M50 is near impossible for me.
There are
Couldn't do it.
multiple hostiles inbound.
I don't think anybody can kill an M50. Oh, actually no, I saw one person that managed to kill the M50 once. I'm pretty sure that's because the pilot got complacent and he actually got into a turning battle with someone. But yeah, like every time I was trying to hit that M50, he just
Proximity alert.
couldn't hit him. Couldn't keep up with him, couldn't hit him, couldn't do anything to him. All my shots would miss. Couldn't keep the couldn't keep my reticle on the lead target indicator. Couldn't do any of that stuff. gotta say though, like some of the points that were brought up in that video that I was talking about earlier, the art of combat. If you YouTube it, you'll find it's a really old video, and it's a, I think it's like an F-16 combat pilot talking about all the tactics for it.
Initiated.
There's some interesting stuff to see. Oh, yeah, it sounds like my graphics card's going nuts. Oh wow. Don't know how I jagged that one. One thing that was curious in the 10 for the chairman, actually, one thing that was a bit curious about that, when Chris Roberts did mention the whole targeting system being reworked, Great Warlord starting to kill. And Chris Roberts was talking about the targeting system being reworked and saying that it was in 13, that it was going to be in 13.2. Sounds like they're already working on it now. So that could be an indicator that 13.1 may be coming out soon. Or could be closer to being releasable.
Scan initiated. Achieve missile lock.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Proximity alert. Hostile eliminated.
See, nobody lines up like that for you in multiplayer combat. No one. Lead target indicators all over the place.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Hostile eliminated.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do there is slow down enough so that I stay on his inner circle when he's turning.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Oh, which stole my kill.
Elite units eliminated.
Yeah, so during that turn I was just trying to keep the Vandal on my... I was trying to stay on the inner circle of the Vandal's turn, so I can maintain lead pursuit. I learned all that from the dogfighting video.
Scan initiated.
Makes it easier to line up behind them and get shots off on them.
Scan initiated.
Though it's hard to do because like, the ships turn on a dime sometimes.
Warning. You are approaching the simulation boundary.
Initiated. Hostile eliminated.
Um,
Approaching the simulation boundary.
just to answer your question there, Kekmeyer. It's handy so far, like just understanding the terms. Like one of the things that I want to try out is like trying to work out the energy, like trading. I can't remember the terms, but essentially it was like spending energy in order to get into combat. You don't really get that as much here, but sometimes like when you're doing turns and that, like you do lose momentum, which is like loss of energy. You're trying to redirect your ship, which means that you need to like spend energy, lose some, and then try and regain that energy so that you can make your move in another direction. So I'm trying to understand that principle of it to try and get better at anticipating movement and staying on the tail of the target. Although, like, I'm not a big flight sim type guy, so it's a relatively new concept to me. I kind of understand it, but like trying to actually practice it is another thing.
Proximity alert.
Like I've always found, like what I'm trying to do is either stay in lead or pure pursuit.
Zero
So
hostiles
either trying to keep my graticle in front of the target or on it as best as I can, or as close to the lead target indicator as I
There are
can.
multiple hostiles inbound.
Contact. Scan initiated. Scan
Yeah, one of the things like that is vastly different between the two is like just the control of the ship in comparison to the fighter craft. Like in this game you can almost stop on a dime really. If you tried doing that in atmosphere, you know, like you fall out of the sky. Not particularly, like the video that I actually watched didn't actually teach you many of the maneuvers. Like, it didn't teach you high yo-yo or anything like that. It just talked about the very basics. To be honest, I don't think I've actually been able to translate any of the maneuvers well. I think the base principles of like just trying to, you know, turn on the inside of your opponent's turning circle so you stay on their 6. So you're always staying behind their 3-9 line. No, those are the principles that I'm just trying to apply. But like I have tried out like trying to do different skills, like barrel rolls and stuff like that, and it doesn't really work as well as what I hoped. But I don't know if that's because of my lack of skill or that it just doesn't translate that well into space combat with the way that Newtonian physics are working here. One of the things that I want to do is try and get like some friends together and like actually practice the maneuvers on them a bit slower. Like once private matches are up properly, that'll be really good to be able to do.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. 0 hostile contacts remaining. Contact. Elite units en route.
Scan initiated.
See the way that priest was flying there,
75%.
a pilot wouldn't be able to pull that off in like atmosphere. So the maneuvers that you're doing there, like there wasn't much that I could actually do there other than overshoot and try and turn back around. Yeah, like those maneuvers there, like even though you're not like losing gravity, I think you're losing momentum. Like you gotta lose and gain momentum. It's just that you won't have gravity there to assist, like doing tighter turns and stuff like that. I think when we start being able to modify our ships, like overclocking engines and weapons and stuff like that, you know, enhancing cooling systems so that you can burn longer, changing up the maneuvering thrusters so that you can turn better. I think that'll influence a lot when it comes to combat.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Well, yeah, like conservation of momentum is extremely important at the moment. Like some of the turns that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to stop myself from going into, like when I'm doing a 180-degree turn, trying to stop myself from going into the negative, so that I'm not drifting in the same direction that I was going before, even though I had turned. And the reason for that is that that way I'm able to stay on top of the enemy a lot easier and pretty much stay on their tail a lot better, and they don't gain as much distance, which allows me to get better shots on them. So,
Force shield depleted. Scan initiated.
one of the things though that I've had to do is like slow down my speed. Like I'm not going at full speed for most of this.
Refreshing shields. Proximity alert. Refreshing shields.
Warning. You are approaching signal boundary.
Stern shield at 75%.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Stern shielding at 75%. Stern shielding at half strength. Stern shielding
That's interesting. I'm starting with a reverse for a 180-degree turn. I guess it allows him to assess the situation better. Was he able to get a tighter turn out of it?
shields. Proximity alert. Stern shielding at 75%. Scan initiated. Hostile eliminated. Scan initiated.
It's interesting, like some of the turns that I try and do, like when I'm doing my like sudden turns, I'll hit the Newtonian brake, which pretty much tries to stop your ship like completely, and then hit boost at the same time. And the reason for that is you can boost your
You are approaching simulation
maneuvering thrusters, which pretty much puts you at a tighter stop. As soon as I made the turn in the direction that I want to, I just let the Newtonian brake go and boost through it.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
One of the things that I don't like what the Vandal do in Vandal Swarm though is that they always try and get you into these massive turning battles. Well, it depends sometimes. Like sometimes I'm able to pull off the turns like on 0, but other times like I go way into the negative still.
You are
I think it has something to do with like if I slow down sufficiently enough.
warning. You are approaching simulation
Yeah, it
boundary.
does seem like you can sit there for a bit. That's why I try and boost through it. Like when I do the turn, I try and slow down just before it. I'm getting closer to the turn, and then boost through it to try and keep up momentum.
Elite units eliminated.
But like, if you go into the negatives, like you're still technically moving, but you're moving along the same plane that you want to be going in. And sometimes that makes it a bit easier for them to track you, because you're staying on the same, you wouldn't say it's a vector, because you're changing from one direction to another. What I need to pay attention.
At half strength. Proximity alert.
Like I will say this though, like yawing turns are the biggest, like the thing that you do in this game a lot, just to avoid blacking or redding out. Like it's easier to just your turn as opposed to pitch and roll. Or roll and pitch, sorry. Oh, you mean strafing? Like you can do 6 degrees of movement whilst flying. Technically, pitching is like rolling and pitching will still get you a faster and tighter turn than what yawing will. It's just that yawing gives you the benefit of not blacking out. Like if I do a pitch and a turn. Oh, didn't happen then. Normally when you're going faster it'll happen. But like I can yaw just as quickly and still be able to keep moving. And my personal thought is that your like pitch and roll is faster than yaw in this game, but sometimes you benefit more from just yawing to stay on target. But yeah, Vandal Swarm is way different to the multiplayer. I'll say that. Multiplayer is much more dynamic than this. So it should be in playing against other players.
Refreshing shields. Proximity alert. Refreshing shields.
I think I've run out of boost.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Oh, that's alright. My last point was just about the AI being vastly different from the players. Like, the combat that you're seeing here is nothing compared to like the multiplayer stuff. Especially when you're fighting like Hornets and M50s. M50s you can barely get a hit on. If you're able to get the M50 into a turning battle, then you got a chance. But M50s have a lot better maneuvering. Same with Hornets. Hornets you don't really want to get into a turning battle into. Hornets, if you, like I'm flying a 300i, so for Hornets the best way for me to fight them is to boom and zoom. The problem is that you need high power weapons to be able to pull it off better. And at the moment the more high powered weapons are currently in need of a bit of attention because of the way that the targeting system works. But from the last 10 for the chairman, with what Chris Roberts was saying about possible changes to the targeting system or improvements to the targeting system in patch 13.2, which is what we will know as patch 0.9.2. He mentioned that there's going to be improvements on the targeting system there, since he plays with a gamepad and you can't hit anything. So when the big boss can't hit anything, you know something's going to change. I'm blacking out there slightly. I think they're going to fix the lead target indicator. Currently, there's some video footage on the RSI forums of one guy. He was flying his 300i, and he actually showed, whilst using the lead target indicator with one weapon set, that he couldn't actually hit anything. But if he aimed off at a point that the lead target indicator wasn't at, he was able to hit the target. So that was one of the things that they'll probably need to fix, because some of the weapons aren't hitting where they're supposed to be. One of the other things that they'll probably need to improve is the way that gimbals work, because currently mouse users that fly in gimbaled mode, so they're able to actually manipulate their gimbaled weapons, have a superior advantage over everyone else, because they can fly and track their targets at the same time with their weapons. And one of the reasons why there's been a lot of complaints on the forums is because Hornets, all the weapons on the Hornet are gimbaled, except for the nose weapons, but they don't work properly anyway. That, and since the last patch update, Hornets have been able to mount their from the Super Hornets, the canard turrets and gimbaled nose turrets, which once again, like, for a dogfighting fighter, like, that makes sense, but when its only competition is either other Hornets or a flying ice cream truck or a luxury fighter. It kind of makes the game less fun for the people that are trying to play it. And a lot of people say, yeah, this is pretty alpha, but some people just treat this as a game for now. Like, I play this for fun. Like, the benefit of helping test the game is, you know, the side thing. Yeah, that's just it. Like, I think the idea of trying to go control agnostic and making things better for everyone else, or you know, even for everyone else, just doesn't work. Like, people that fly with keyboard and mouse will have that advantage if they fly in if they fly with gimbaled weapons.
Has received catastrophic
I just lost the weapon. Like some of the HOTAS pilots are using like track IR and stuff, which works to a point. But you know, like people don't want to have to pay like $150 to buy track IR just so that they can use a weapon set in a game. You know, like a lot of people have brought up some good points in regards to when like the first person shooter part comes out. That, you know, like you're not going to get people playing the first person shooter part with just the joystick. Oh wow, I lost an entire wing. When did that happen? Oh wow, I hope I kill him.
0 hostile contacts remaining.
Respawning.
For reintegration. Contact.
G safe and comm stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
Scan initiated. Contact. Scan initiated.
I'm gonna get wailed on in this fight now. These hunters have been on my ass for ages.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Alert.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. You are approaching simulation boundary.
That hunter just killed himself.
Eliminated.
Why can't they all be like that one?
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Scan initiated. Stern shielding at half strength.
Simulation boundary.
One habit that I'm trying to break myself out of is turreting, like going to a complete stop and just turning, trying to yaw around. Bad. I've gotten killed so many times doing that in multiplayer matches.
Eliminated.
Elite units eliminated. Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Contact. Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
Depends actually. Like, if I set it to decoupled mode and I start strafing, like I'm strafing right now, my speed hasn't changed. But if I go into coupled mode, like I can still strafe, but it'll treat the if I start to strafe while I'm in coupled mode,
Flare launched.
Not really. I actually haven't tried it out. Some people have been flying around in just pure decoupled mode because they're able to do better turns.
Stern shielding at quarter strength.
Like they're able to be more unpredictable with their movement.
Refreshing shields. Chaff launched. Flare launched.
Like, I don't personally notice the difference when I'm strafing and turning. Depends on the direction that you're strafing really, and the direction that you're trying to turn. Like if you're strafing and turning in the same direction, it shouldn't actually affect it at all. But I don't notice it.
Achieved missile. Refreshing shields. Stern shielding at half strength.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Hostile eliminated. Scan initiated. Stern shielding at 75%.
See what you can do there, and I was doing it there for a bit, was when I was doing that 180-degree turn, whilst I was doing it I was also strafing to the right. Makes it a bit harder for them to try and track me.
Stern shielding at 75%. Stern shielding at half strength.
But it also depends on the airframe that you're using too. The two craft that you want to be trying to strafe in are like the Hornet and the M50. M50's they've both got the best maneuvering thrusters. And the thing about the Hornet is that its maneuvering thrusters also influence its main engines as well when it comes to changing direction. Like Hornets can stop on a dime pretty much. And I've seen Hornet pilots go from like full speed to a complete stop, change direction, and back up to full speed again, all within like a second. Because if you try and do that in like an Aurora 350, correction, a 300i, like, you gotta plan your turns, and you're sitting there going, alright, I'm gonna be turning soon, I'm gonna do the stop, gotta slow down a bit. Okay. I believe it has something to do with the maneuvering thrusters on the Hornet and M50 being better than the 300i and the Aurora. Even though like the brochures tout that the say that the 300i should have better maneuvering or has superior maneuvering, the Hornet's just better at doing it. The Hornet's only 20 meters per second slower than the 300i. Although I gotta say, like, since the 0.9 patch, like, one thing that has been good is the way that they changed the afterburners in that. Like, you know, instead of afterburner being influencing your maximum speed, it just influences your acceleration to your maximum speed, which is the way it should work.
Warning. Simulation boundary.
Hostile eliminated.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
In regards to the afterburner, pushing or allowing you to accelerate faster. I don't think it'll change much. To be honest, I don't think that it's not that that's broken, because technically that's how afterburners actually work. They just increase the rate of acceleration, not your top speed. Technically, you'd get a faster speed out of it, but the way that they've set the ships up in Star Citizen is that it has a speed limit on it, because it allows you to control the craft better. Like, if they actually set it up so it was proper, like, so it worked the way that, like, ships in space actually work, and, you know, like, all your acceleration is additive. So as you accelerate, the more you accelerate, the faster that you get. You get to the point where you just can control your ship, and that the amount of burn that you'd have to do to, like, correct course on that would just be too much. And that kind of ties in with what's going to be happening in the persistent universe when they actually start adding the fuel state into the game. You know, like, you're not going to be able to do afterburners forever, because you're burning fuel when you're doing that.
Zero hostile contacts remaining. Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Contact. Scan initiated. Stern shielding at 75%.
I'm gonna get loud on here.
Scan initiated. Flare launched. Force shield at quarter strength.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Proximity alert. Scan initiated.
I should pull into this asteroid field to try and break them off me.
Proximity alert. Chaff launched. Flare launched. Refreshing shields. Scan initiated.
Another thing that I noticed that they haven't done yet, and they said that they were going to be doing it, was setting it up so that if you put, like, if you were boosting too much on your maneuvering thrusters, it would actually burn them out. Crap, I got a fire going. That's gone.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Adjusting radar range.
Refreshing shields.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. Zero hostile contacts remaining. Contact. Elite units en route.
Contact. Scan initiated. Scan initiated. Shaft depleted. Flare launched. Proximity alert.
Oh, do not know what happened there. Everything's starting to lag. It's like I'm playing the game in slow-mo at the moment now.
Achieved missile call. Stewardship depleted. Proximity alert. Flare launched. Refreshing shields. Flares depleted.
Okay, I'm out of flares and missiles at the moment.
Refreshing shields. Proximity alert. Refreshing shields.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
At half strength. Stern shielding.
Warning.
Oh, I got a break from that engagement there because all that bloody payday guy is doing is just flying around in circles, letting the other guys have free shots at me.
Scan initiated.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Shields. Proximity alert.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Stern shielding at half strength. Weapon system.
I don't think they ever do it on purpose actually with the ramming. To be honest, I think they actually do it by accident. Like I haven't actually had one try to ram me on purpose. We've like just collided. Because what they do is they get really close behind you on your 6 and then... Okay, I don't know what hit me then. But what they try and do is they get really close behind you and then when you turn around all of a sudden they just stop, turn and then punch to in a different direction.
Reintegration.
Origin Jump Works at your service. Core system operational.
G-Safe and Com Stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
Scan initiated. Eliminated.
Elite units eliminated. Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Contact.
Interesting, I don't remember killing that many of them the last match.
Scan initiated.
I don't think I made it to wave 13 before since the new update either.
Scan initiated. Force shield depleted. Stern shielding at half strength. Scan initiated. Achieved missile launch. Eliminated. At
approaching simulation boundary.
This is the longest I've played Vandal Swarm for. No, I guess it's because I'm so close to finishing it now, I might as well keep going.
Scan initiated. Hostile eliminated.
You are approaching simulation boundary. Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. 0 hostile contacts remaining. Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Contact.
5 alphas and 2 hunters. This is not going to end well, considering that alphas all use missiles.
Scan initiated. Stern shielding at high strength.
Okay. Well, that is the highest wave I've ever made since I started playing Star Citizen, wave 14. I didn't even make wave 14 when I was playing in the 0.8 patch. And it only took me nearly an hour and 15 minutes to get there. Thank you. The funny thing is that the 0.8 patch, I used to get to wave 13 and I'd do it in about half an hour. So the targeting system has changed significantly. The previous targeting system was kind of like an aim assist one, so once you got your reticle over the target, your gimbaled weapons, and all your weapons would be gimbaled, would converge on the target point, and then you'd start firing on it. And it would help you with the lead and stuff like that, as long as you kept your reticle on the target and the green diamond there. What they've changed it to there is the lead target indicator. You've got to put your reticle on that to be able to get effective hits on the target. What I'm thinking is that one of the improvements that they could be doing to that is, and this is speculation, I don't know, they haven't said anything how they're going to do it yet, but they'll probably keep the lead target indicator there, but like gimbaled weapons, the longer that you keep your reticle on the lead target indicator, the better your weapons will track. Like fixed weapons are at a disadvantage at the moment because of the way that the lead target indicators work. They work by weapon groups. So if you got a fixed weapon and 2 gimbaled weapons all in the same weapon group, it'll try and choose the medium between the two to be able to get the rounds on target, which doesn't really work. But if you're using like actual like fixed weapons and you separate the weapon groups like on the 300i, so if you keep the Omniski 6s on the wings and then you have your nose cannon mounted gimbaled, you have drummers there trying to get rounds on targets because the Omniski 6s have a different convergence point to the your nose weapon. And because the nose weapon is not that powerful in comparison to the Omniski 6s, and the Omniski 6s have a massive recharge time, you can get 4 shots off with an Omniski 6 before before it needs to recharge. You know, any shots that you're missing are critical shots. So you spend a lot of the time sitting there waiting for your Niski 6s to recharge. So the common trend that's happening in Arena Commander at the moment in multiplayer is everybody's going for high rate of fire weapons to be able to compensate for the lack of for the weapons that aren't able to recharge fast enough. Like they hit hard, but because they're on such a long recharge time, they're pretty much useless because every shot that you miss counts. I'm just going to check something with the chat. Well, I'm actually going to call it there for this stream because my computer is not liking it at the moment. I can play the game, but the fans are going nuts. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something out of it. If you want to see more, feel free to follow. You'll get notifications. I'm also on Twitch. My Twitch handle is down below in the my profile details. I always announce when I'm about to start streaming. I announce there. I really can't wait until I can start flying my Avenger. Hopefully soon. Hopefully by the end of next month. At maximum, hopefully before the end of this year. But yeah, that's the end of my stream. I'm going to call it there for now. Been going for nearly an hour and a half, which is not too bad. But I gotta give my computer a bit of a rest now. It doesn't seem to like it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks and I'll be able to upgrade my start the upgrades on my computer, new CPU and motherboard. And with that, I should be able to get a better stream quality, be able to get into multiplayer matches without it lagging as badly, and be able to show off more of the Star Citizen universe like I was with patch 0.8. Never even noticed that. Anyway guys, I'm off for the night. I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching.